can you see my presentation? Because I can't see you. I can't hear you. Please type in chat. Can you see my presentation? Can you hear me before we started? Some message in chat. Yes. Oh, fine. So let's start. Topic for today is class and object. Last time we speak about concept of object-oriented programming. So it was theory how it works, but now we should move on to the practice. And to work with object-oriented programming, we need to understand what is class, what is object, how we can use it in C#. It's very important topic for us as a developer. So let's start. For this reason, we need know how we can create class and create object in C#. First of them, let's start with definition of what is it class, what is it object. So most people will say that everything that you can see and touch in the world is an object. Yeah, it's true. But at the same time, it's a class. So let's understand what it mean. Classes come from classification. If you take anything in the world, you can say that this belong to so and so class. For example, if you take a group of students at college, university, then you can say that these students belong to computer science, and this is students of computer science, and these students belong to electronics, and this is class of electronics, for example. So here we are classifying based on the subject or course they are going through. It means the classification is based on the criteria that we are adopting. So classification is done based on some criteria or common thing that you can find in them. So we define class in our daily life in this reason. For example, another example, any four wheels vehicle is in which there is driver, and some people they sitting at the block, set the back or beside the driver. So we say that's a car. From one hand, from another hand, the classification depending on property we are defined. It can be a truck, it can be a car, but in both way it's vehicles, and it's like a class. So class is definition, and object is an instance of this definition. Next, another example. You can see on the slide. Some company provides housing. for employee, and they will have some cargo or apartments or private house. All apartments will be similar because they follow the same design, and design is one, and we have a lot houses, a lot apartments. In this reason, design is nothing but a class. So we can say that design of housing apartment it's like a class. If you have a lot different real houses with this design. From another way, design it's nothing but the blueprint of the house object. So house will have the all these things that defined in the design plan or in blueprint. Okay, like an engineer, every engineer is does some paperwork or design work, and based on this design, some manufacturing is done. So you can make any product, and product will have all things that was included in design. And you can make many products based on only one design. Car company or the same, doesn't matter. So in the same way, we also want to write a class or and create object in our program. So class it's like a design, object it's like a real instance of this class. Okay, let's move on to the definition of class. Class it's no. Okay, class is simply user definition data. It's like a data type that responds both state and behavior. States present the properties, and behavior is action that object can perform. In other words, we can say that class is like something like blueprint, plan, template. You can name with another word that describes the details of the real object. So class is a blueprint. Real object is building with this blueprint. In C Sharp, class is composed of three things: its name, attributes, and operators. So property it's attributes, and operators it's behavior, so some command. So this slide you can see this some definition. Object it's instance of our class, and object can be considered as things that can perform activities. Activities is the set of activities that object performs defined in the object behavior. All member of our class can be accessed through object. To get access, we use special operator dot. No, that's all. How it can be look? How we can create class and object. So let's understand how to create a class and object from this class in C Sharp. In order to understand this, please have a look at the slide on the screen. As you can see in this image, class definition starts from the keyword class, this one. After that, following the class name. For example, we use class name calculator, for example. And after that, we have class body. this one. Class body enclosed by a pair or curl braces. Yeah, braces. And one moment. I need switch off camera. And as a part of class body, you define class member. It can be properties, methods, variables, etc. And for example, here in this class which we show on the screen, we have a class calculator, and we define one method for this class. It's called calculate sum. So the class calculator is only template, just template. In order to use this class or template, you need have to object. You need to have object. And in the second part of the picture, you can see how we can create object from a class. For this reason, we can set type name. In this case, our type is our class. So calculator. Then we use name of object, called object, for example, equal, and we use a keyword new. When you use keyword new, we create new instance of our class. We create new real object. And we call constructor. As you can see, the name the same, but we have braces. So to define what you should remember, to define class, we use keyword class. For create object, we use keyword new. Let's speak about real example. Our class can be the same, like in the screen. Of course, this part of code is your you can see what you can see. We have general part of our program and this one. And this one we use our class, so we can create object. So we use keyword new, but we need to have class definition. In this case, we must have our class name and keyword class. So it should be in the one project. Very often you can see that class definition usually move to a separate file and in general we only create object and do or work with object, but all classes extended for external file. Так. Next. Oh, of course, if you run this program, I will not. I'm not going to show example today, but if you run this program, you will got output with result 30. Why? Because when we create our object, we call object method calculate sum and provide two parameters 10 and 20. So 10 plus 10, 20, it's equal 30. It's look like easy, but many programmers or developers still get confused by the difference between class and object. On the previous class today, you had asked me about interview. It's a good question for interview. What difference between object and class? Usually, when you speak about programming language with object-oriented programming like C Sharp, it's a general question for ask you. As we already discussed, in object-oriented programming (OOP), class is a template or blueprint for creating object, and every object in C Sharp must belong to a class. Please look the following diagram to understand difference between them. As you can see, here we have one class called employee. All employee have properties such as employee ID, name, salary, gender, department, etc. And the properties are nothing but the attribute or field for our employee class. If required, you can also add some methods or function. It's the same that are common for all employee. For example, what methods we can name? For example, insert data on display data, which we use to insert or display the employee data, for example. So the idea is that a template or blueprint of employee is not going to change. Each and every object is going to be built from the same template from our class. And therefore contain the same set of methods and properties. All objects share the same template, but maintain separate copy of member data, own properties, or own fields. For example, like on these diagrams, we create two employee, let's say emp1 and emp2. Then object and emp1 and emp2 are employees, so they can be classified as belong the employee class, and both have the same method. We have insert data and display data as we discussed, but are different in modules properties because we provide own information about each employee. Each employee have own properties and field. It's related to emp1 or emp2, but method the same. Why we need it? We needed, as we discussed last time, we needed to save to decrease amount of code and reuse your code because when you create craft own code, we always you are human, we are human, so we can make mistake, and if we can reuse one code block, it's good because if you have the same code twice or more times, when we change something in one place, we have big opportunity to forgot change the same code in another place. So one part will work correct, another part will work not correct. It's not good. It's a logical mistake. It's very hard to detect because we found first code block and it's write it correct. Maybe we need to find another reason for mistake. But in real life, we can make that, we have another copy of this block, and in second copy without fixes. So it's not good. When I speak about class in C#, we have a few type of classes. Which one? We have abstract class, partial path, concrete, sealed, and static. All this topic which I speak today, we will learn 2 lectures today and next time, because it's a lot of theory and not so easy to understand, but I try to explain for you. So let's discuss each of these classes in detail in next slides. So let's summarize what is class. Class is a user-defined type that encapsulate data and behavior. It can contain field, properties, and methods, and events and constructors, so on. I have a question for you. What do you think? Is class occupied memory or no? For example, if you define class, is it class spent class definition is spent memory or no? We define class in our program.
One more time. What was the question?
For example, we define class in our program. The question is it spent memory or no?
I think no.
Oh, it's correct. Why? Because it's only a definition. It's only template. It's only blueprint. It's only
It's a basic syntax.
no syntax. It's not object. It's only definition. Yes, the definition spent some rows in our file, and in this reason it spent some memory, but it's only definition. It's only memory in your program, not in your operation memory in your computer. But after that, we create object from this class, and object can spend a lot of memory in operation memory.
So it's like a blueprint.
Blueprint, template, skeleton, you can name it in a different way, but it's only definition. It's only text. Yeah. For example, you can see another example in the image. We have class, for example, dog. Some state attributes like bread, age, and color, and behavior bark, sleep, eat. Maybe bitish. We need to add one more behavior bit. Okay, so to create this class, we need use keyword class, and in addition, we can use following components. Not now, we only name it, but a little bit later, maybe today, maybe next time. Some of them today, some of them next time. We will detailed and discuss each more detail. So first of them, it's a modifier. Modifier will be discussed next time. Modifier define the accessibility of the class, and by default, a class is internal. So you can't access to this class from external part of your program. You must use keyword class to declare class. You must have a class identifier. It's name your class. You can specify the parent class to inherit from. For this reason, we use symbol double dot. And you can use interface or many interfaces with comma separator. We will speak about next time. And of course, main part of our class, it's body of class with figure brace. Body contain members, field, properties, all internal part of your class. In real life, it can be look like this. So if you return back to our example with dog, when object is created, the class is installed. So we create object from the class, and we provide memory space for object, because, for example, our object have some properties. Each property is some variable with some data type, for example, string, boolean, integer, and so on. So each type is simple types, but for example, sometimes we can use complex types of like a type for any variable. We can use complex type like another class. So it can took a lot of memory in your program. And when you create object from a class, you can create different dog with different name and different properties and so on. After that, when you create object, this object is only linked to place in memory where this object will be stored. But when we only declare object, there are no any data in memory. After that, you must initialize this object. So you need provide real information for your object. To initialize object, we use keyword new. New operator invoke class constructor. We will speak what is constructor a little bit later today. And provide real data in your object. After that, your object will spend a lot, maybe not a lot, but spend memory. For example, our class dog, you can see this definition. We have some attributes. For example, we have name, breed, age, and color. And we have some methods. For example, get name, get breed, and that's all. And we have some method which the same with our class. We have class dog and method dog. It's named constructor. So when we create our new instance object, we always use constructor to set some startup data. For example, We have method toString. It's sorry. It should be 15 slide. I need to move it a little bit right. Oh, that's correct definition. Yeah. Save. So, for example, we have operator method toString, but it's operate which we use in many places, and it's standard operator for any object. But to learn it how it should work with our class, we need to override it. For this reason, we use name keyword override. After this construction, after this definition, our toString method will be work for this class in another way. How it works, we define in this in the method body method body. We in our case we want to print some information. Not print, return some information, and after that we can print it. As a result, we will have the following output. As you can see, we create object dog and name it Tufi, and provide some properties for this dog, for example, and we use WriteLine method from the following information. We set object name Tufi dot, and after dot we can call any methods in this class. In our case, we not any. We can from external, it's external using, we can call public methods. So toString is public, okay, dot toString. toString returns this information, and WriteLine prints this information. Oh, our result. It's all about class and object. Again, main difference: class, it's a blueprint, it's a template, it's only definition and only design, and object is a real instance of this class, a real object. For example, you can create a class building. It's only design on the paper or in a file. It's class. When you build this building, you can build many buildings with one design. So each builded building will be instance of this class, will be separate object. And of course, if we speak about separate building, separate house or apartment, doesn't matter. They spend space, memory. It's different. It depends which is spent, but they spend something and have some individual properties and can have individual behavior. It's like methods. Is it clear or not? Can we move on to next topic? I hope yes, because no reaction from my side, it means that it's understand. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I mentioned that we use constructor to build our instance, yeah, to create our instance. So our next topic is constructor in C#, and there are different type of construction. So let's start. First of them, let's discuss what is it. Constructor is a special method. It's present in a class, and it responds for initialize variable of the class. The name of the constructor must be the same like a class. You cannot change the name, so you cannot create class dog and create constructor with dog constructor name. It's not correct. The name must be the same. So if you create class dog, constructor must have name dog. Students, employee, the same. Next, constructor does not return any value. It's like a procedure. It's do something but not return anything. When we speak about methods, there are two different type of methods. First type is value returning, and second type non-value returning. So if we speak about methods with value returning, it's something like function. So we provide some parameters and get result. And non-returning value, it's like procedure, and our which process some action but nothing return. So constructor it's a non-value return, so it's like a procedure. It's never return any value. It's very important. But we can have any properties in our class, and constructor can set a value for these properties, and properties will return value. Will have value, and from a separate method, for example, get some properties, we can read property and return. And of course, constructor sets this property, but cannot return itself. So constructor never return value. Each and every class requires the constructor. If you want to create an instance of this class. So when you create instance with name object, you use keyword new and class. For example, we have class test and we don't have constructor test, but we call it. Is it possible? Or it's a mistake? What do you think? In our case, if you, it will be a little bit later today, but now, if I have asked you, if you create class without constructor, it constructor create automatically without any parameters and exist always. So you can create class test. In this example, this so you define class test. For example, define internal variable e like integer type. it's your description code. But after compilation, C# compiler create this variant of class definition, and in this case, you have the same variable RE, but you will get automatically a public method test, the same name, it's constructor, which create new variable I and set it default value 0, initializing this variable with 0. So you can write this one or this one. It's shorter, it's full view, but after compilation, this example will be in memory for C# converted to this one. Next. So let's example to understand constructor in C#. Every variable we declared inside a class, and every field we declared inside a class must have a default value. All numeric type initialized with 0. Boolean type is initialized with false. String and object type are initialized with null. Let's look on the screen. In this initialization is performed for each and every variable presented in our class. So we defined like this, but in real compilation, we will have the same, like right side. But your question is why we not assign any value for our variables. Yes, it's correct, but constructor is going to do that. And constructor, if you don't define own constructor, we will discuss how it works a little bit later. C# create default constructor with initialize with default value. Default value I named. This kind of constructor called implicit constructor, and we don't need to define it. It created automatically if you need. You cannot write it, but you can call it. In case if you want to define something in constructor, you must create own constructor, and in that case it will be called explicit constructor. So we have at least two types of constructor, implicit and explicit. Let's deep dive. So when we work with constructor in C#, you must remember following. You can see the slide. First, implicitly defined constructor without any parameters, and explicitly constructor called and have another name, default constructor, and initialize all variable with default value without our actions. All implicit constructor defined as a public, so you can use it from external call. And you can also define own constructor. It's called implicit constructor, and it can have own parameter or without parameters. So explicit parameters can be like parameterless and parameterized too. For example, let's see. And result. So we create variable, we create class with variable, and when we call it, we got output with some value, but we not set up this value. As I mentioned before, we can create explicit constructor. On the slide, you can see syntaxes for this constructor. So you need the same some modifier. We can use keyword class. You can set name for your class. It must be a unique name, of course. And you can set parameter list or skip it. And some statement, some body class. For example, you create a class explicit constructor and create own explicit constructor with action write line something. When we run this, we got output with the same instance. And very important notice, you can run this, you can create many instances of your class. And how many times you run constructor, that number of instances you will get. For example, in our example, we have 4 instances. 4 times we use keyword new, and 4 times in our memory will be create new object, explicit constructor. Each times we provide memory for this constructor, and this constructor, this object has own constructor with action write line, and when it called, it always types something to the screen. So we create for object, we run 4 constructors, and we have 4 row on the screen. I propose to create short break by schedule. I stop our recording. So next. See, if you not define any constructor explicitly, then the compiler will provide the constructor which is called implicit constructor, so default constructor. You can see the following screen. If you move on the mouse pointer over the test class, then you will see the following. It's test class, which present under the constructor demo namespace. So you always can move on pointer of your mouse in Visual Studio and get additional information about any object. It's very useful. Next, if you move mouse pointer to the test, as you can see on the screen, it first test class, and you can see test twice. First, it's class name. Second, it's call the default constructor. Next. So we have call a constructor and we use implicit constructor. Next. Now, next example with explicit constructor. The same situation when we move on your mouse over class name, you get information about class. And if you move your mouse to the new explicit constructor, you get explicit constructor twice. First time it's class name, second time it's call a constructor. But we declare explicit constructor by yourself, and this example with using of explicit constructor. So the same, but you can customize what should be done in explicit constructor by own choose. As we discussed before, we have two type of constructor, at least two time. It's explicit and implicit. Implicit is by default, and explicit default by defined by developer. So how we can call explicit constructor? As we discussed, we can use keyword new and set your constructor. Okay, move on. In real life, we have a lot. Now we met with two type of constructor, but in real life we have more than two types. Which type we have? At least 5 types. It's default or parameterless constructor, implicit. Second, it's parameterized constructor, explicit. Next, you can create copy constructor, static, and private constructor. So let's try to provide this definition till end of our lecture. If no, next time continue, don't worry. So first, it's easiest way example, it's default or parameterless constructor, it's implicit constructor. As we discussed, we have two type of constructor with system defined and user defined. Parameterless constructor can be both type, user defined or system defined. Again, if a programmer don't define any constructor explicitly in program, by default compile provide own constructor without parameters. It's called default constructor. If you okay that constructor don't create something special for you, okay, you can use it. Default constructor only create following. It assign default value for all data members, non-static variables. So it's called system defined constructor. Example, we have employee, class employee. We provide following public field, ID, string, and ID, int, and age, string, address, and name, and Boolean type is permanent. It's mode of work. Yeah. After that, we create new employee, and what we can do, as I mentioned earlier, when we create, when you work with any class, you can set name class, set object, not class. In our case, employee it's class, E1 it's object, it's instance of this class. So we can call E1 instance dot and something what included in this class. Maybe I should it show you for understand. Let me start Visual Studio. I hope this it should be useful for you. Maybe it's slide number 35. Number 35. I will copy the code. And for example, when I run, we got the result, as you can see. But I want to highlight another one. For example, when you set object name employee, click dot. After that, Visual Studio tried to help you and try to propose what you can do next. As you can see, you can see public variable, our ID, age, but you can see some methods toString. But do you have any toString methods in our class? No. Why? Because these methods are predefined for a class object. All object created from class, but all class in under the hood created by this object. So all methods which defined for object exist for any classes. So toString come to us from definition of object and object type, and we can use it. For example, we had ID, and let's try to do following. For example, I will add toString, yeah. It's default toString because we don't define on toString. And in this case, I tried to ask toString because it's method I must set brick. And let's check the result. As you can see, what provide toString for us? Only general information about class name, not class name, about namespace constructor demo and class name employee. So we can't get detailed information. As you remember, before we have example when we overwrite it. Where is it was? I want to. No. Okay. In our case, this toString, I think it's not useful for us because how you can use this information? It's only general information. But if you create override method toString and provide something what you need, for example, information about your employee, it will be used for you. Okay, next. Yeah, as I said. Next, in our example, we have not specified default value for our variable. So our constructor create our compiler add the file constructor and initialize with default value for each variable. Compiler can provide only default constructor, and if you need something special for your constructor, you must create own one. As I mentioned now, if you want to execute some custom logic in your in time when you create object, you need create own constructor with own logic. So how you can do it? It will be a little bit later. Sorry. Next. So the question of when we need provide custom constructor, when you need own logic when you initialize object, when you create class object. What is it? It's constructor that defined by user, not end user. At this place, I mean that it's developer, programmer. So constructor is defined by developer or programmer. It can be without parameters or with parameters. If it without parameters, it's named user-defined default constructor. And this constructor does not accept any arguments because it's without parameters. And you can write own logic. For example, we have an employee class. We have created public parameterless constructor. You can see empty bricks, so no parameters. But you decide to set own default values for each properties. Okay, you can do it. And when you create this object, you will get. Let's check. It's slide number 38. I try to copy it and I will add this one and try to run it. As you can see, we have value like we set when initialize. And when we create another employee, for example, set it to, in all place I set it to employee and run it. So we have first employee and we have second employee, but the value is the same. Why? Because we set it in own constructor. Next, so run and result. So this type of constructor named default constructor and parameterless. Doesn't matter how many objects being created for employee class, each instance or each object is initialized with the same set of value. I show it to you. For this reason, we called it default constructor, and this created constructor created by user, so it called user-defined default constructor. So I provide example for second instance. Yeah, you can see it. Next, sometimes we want to create special object with specialized parameters. If you want to initialize the object dynamically with our values which was given by user, or we want to initialize each instance or class with different set of values because previous one we had the same. We need to use parameterized constructor in C#. So how I can do it? It's very easy. We need to provide some parameters into constructor. Next, of course, is usually when we move our pointer to this constructor, you can see it. And for example, I want to with our employee. Where is my studio? For example, I want to create new constructor, and I want to user, for example, int age. As you can see, I provide age with small, which started from small letter because it's internal parameter. And when we run it, for example, I create it with employee age 18 and run it. Let's check. First time we had this one constructor, and second one, as you can see, we have another one constructor. Yeah. So as you can see, we can have a few constructor at the same time, but definition of each constructor should be different. You cannot create something like this, but you can create like this. It will be okay. No, why no? Because it's one parameters. Int, oops. It should be different number of parameters. Oh, it can't. Okay. I show it. Next. It's worked. It's another example, but doesn't matter. So you can create any number of instance of the class, and each of instance will be with different value. like this. This time we create with value 10, value 20, and we have different type of parameters. The main question when we should use this type of constructor with parameters. When you need customize initialization and provide different value for different instance of your class. I show it. Next, we can use the following example. We can define methods display using two different instances. And you can see the result for both instances. Result will be the following. Why? Do you know? We create a different instance. First instance have constructor with parameters 10, second with parameters 20, and you can see this object was created. But when we create method display, we have the same result, 0. Why? Do you have any idea?
No.
Why? Let's choose see the example. We create x and we did not initialize this x. So by default, x equal 0. Okay, each object have the same 0. Yes, we can create constructor with parameter int e, which we provided, but we did not much. We did not change x in parameter. Next, but example, if we add the following row and initialize x with value of parameter e, which we provided, in this case, of course, we will get different result. Yeah, because in the previous example, we don't use x at all. So print default value. In this case, we can use it. So as we have created two instances separately, object 1 and object 2, so internally, two copies of x variable are available in the memory for us. And for better understand, let's look the screen. We have two separate object 1, object 2, and each x has own value, 10 or 20. If we want to create multiple instance with the same value, we need to use copy constructor. In a copy constructor, constructor takes the same value as a parameter to it. So let's see on the screen. The result will be the following. So we create copy constructor, and it should work like this. Okay, create another instance, the same value. So we provide the same value as parameter. And what the result? For example, we have the following constructor, and as a parameter we provide this one, and as a result we will see two constructors like on the screen, as you can see, constructor into constructor. One constructor take an int as a parameter, and other constructor take a copy constructor type, complex type, as a parameter. So you can include one class into another class, one constructor into another constructor. As a result, you can get the following. If you run the application, you see both instances. So now in memory, we have two separate objects with the same value. Okay, next question. How many constructors can be defined in class? I show it for you. So in class, we can define any number of constructors, but we have some limitation. The most important point is that you need different have constructor with different signature. Signature is the name and number of parameters. So number, type, parameters. So you can create, for example, where is our studio? I provide this one. For example, if I provide signature with one parameters, for example, string name and name like this. As you can see, we have one constructor with one parameters. We have another constructor with one parameters, but signature is the different because parameters different type. If I provide, as you remember, if I provide another one, for example, I want to ID, but the same type, because age and ID the same type int. In this case, we will have error. And for example, Copilot don't help us because Copilot don't know what we need. So this one is not correct. Oh, as you can see, we can get tips from Visual Studio conflict with method int, because you can see class, constructor, and int the same, so we can note it. But if you use int or and string or different number of parameters, okay, it can work. Okay, how many time we have? We have only 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Okay. Next. So we can have a lot constructor if you need, but with different signature. It's important. Static. Next type of constructor is a static. In C# possible to create constructor as a static, and when we do it, it's called static constructor. If constructor is declared explicitly by using the static modifier, then it called a static constructor. All constructor will be defined till now, and non-static or instance constructor. What it mean? For example, we can use the following method. So we define static constructor. For static constructor, you cannot use any static any access modifier, public, private, internal, and so on. And as a result, when you create, when you compile this class, you will got two constructor. Implicit default constructor will be added by default, and additional manual added static constructor will be added with slower static. What we can do with this, the following. In a class, we can have only one static constructor. It can be called explicitly. It always called implicitly. Static constructor should be without any parameters. It's important. You can only access static member of your class. They should not be accessed specified in static constructor definition. And in class is static when we cannot create object for static class. It call automatically to initialize static member. So static constructor will be invoked only once when your class loaded. That's all. How you can initialize non-static data member? Let's see example. So how we can? It's not possible to initialize non-static data member with a static constructor because we rise compiler rise error. Let's look our example. You can see it's not available. So we have two variable, int static j, int okay, but static j we cannot. But we can initialize static data member with non-static constructor. It's available. You can see on the slide. Next topic is private constructor. Let me check. Can we complete this topic or we should pause? No, I propose continue topic with private constructor for next time because there are a lot of slides and we can't complete till our 4 minutes of our lecture. So I propose to stop this topic and speak about private constructor next time. So I have a question. Do you have any question regarding our topic today? If no, I stop recording.